So one thing that we've been all repeatedly told is that if you want to be successful in an area like fitness, you should be studying other successes. You should be looking at how they exercise, how they eat, when they wake up, when they go to bed. And the idea is that if you can replicate their actions, you will be able to replicate their results. But what if I told you that's not the best way to learn, and that's not where the best lessons are hidden? In fact, what I've done over the last 10 years is I spent an equal amount of time studying failure as I did success. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the 3 biggest lessons that I've learned from studying thousands and thousands of people who have failed to help you shield yourself from making the same mistakes so you can get the best results that you can get and ultimately create a healthy, sustainable lifestyle, which is really the goal that we all have here. So without any further ado, let's dive into it. So the first big lesson that will help you avoid failure is that you must master the right form of persistence. We all know that persistence in combination with a strong work ethic is essential for success, but not all forms of persistence are the same. You have efficient persistence, but you also have inefficient persistence. Inefficient persistence is that guy that keeps showing up in the gym endlessly without seeing any success. It's what Albert Einstein would define as insanity. You keep doing the same thing and then expecting different results. I would define insanity as not hitting the like button. Now, efficient persistence, on the other hand, is when you show up, but then you continuously tweak your approach until you see results. So you are thinking like an engineer. You're combining persistence with iteration, so your plan is getting better and better. You're looking at, are the weekends the problem? Are a specific weekday? Is there a specific time of the day that cravings or hunger come in, or specific foods that I eat and then I fall off track? Well, now you have that data to make your approach better. So it's not about being on the plan or off the plan. Your plan is evolving through testing it out in the real world, measuring it like an engineer would, and making those right adjustments. And this is how, by taking that efficient persistence, you pretty much dial in the approach uniquely to you. And that's what makes it sustainable long term. So your success on this is pretty much guaranteed because your approach is literally made for you. You're not just copying it from someone else, you're making it for yourself. Now, the second big lesson that I've learned over the years is that success itself can lead to failure. Typically what ends up happening is someone is going to start a new program, they're going to do it for a month, they're going to start seeing some initial results, second month also doing well, third month still doing well, seeing results, but then they're going to start to get a little bit more confident. And then their lazy brain, which is trying to conserve energy, convinces them that they can take it a bit easier. And that's before they're truly ready for it. And then this overconfidence manifests itself as in messy weekends, lots of guesstimating, slacking off on the planning, slacking off on the tracking, giving yourself easy outs to self-license that you quote unquote deserve to eat more. And before you know it, person isn't seeing any more results and they're stuck. And it's as Andy Grove famously said, success breeds complacency, complacency breeds failure, and only the paranoid survive. 2-3 months is not enough time to form healthy habits. It takes much longer than that. You're barely scratching the surface of what it really means to build a lifestyle. So if this is happening to you, if you're someone looking back, you've noticed that there's that overconfidence, that ego getting in the way, you want to make sure you don't let yourself off the hook so easy, and as you continuously work on this, and so then you can have that smooth transition into those healthy, sustainable habits long term. Now, the third and most important lesson is something I call upgrading your motivation system. And here's what I mean by this. Let's say your goal is to get down to 10% or 12% or 15% body fat. You want to get lean. Well, naturally, as a high performer, you want to monitor changes over time. But then what ends up happening is your sense of motivation gets linked to those changes over time and to specific things like the changes on the weight scale. And there's nothing wrong with that, of course. You want to be data-driven and monitor things along the way to ensure that you're moving in the right direction. But your sense of motivation now is directly linked to a factor that you don't actually control. Because the scale can fluctuate in all kinds of directions. And if the scale doesn't fluctuate in the way that you expect it to, it can lead to less motivation, which then leads to less consistency, and then you end up in trouble. And I've seen some of the most motivated, most disciplined people fall off track completely because they hooked up their motivation too closely to external factors such as the scale or what other people are saying. Now, what I've seen work really well long term is unlinking your sense of motivation from that external scale and now connecting it to the process itself. And to 2 things actually. One is Are you doing the process, which is consistency? And number two, how good are you at the process? And both of those things are within your control. And this becomes a superpower. You can generate your own motivation just by the fact that you're doing the things you need to do anyway, and you're also doing them better over time, which also gives you a sense of accomplishment. And this leads to a lot of enjoyment of the process, which is critical for long-term success. Because even if you could discipline yourself to lose a bunch of weight in 5 or 6 months, if you don't really enjoy the process, eventually you will fall off track and you will regain all the weight, which happens all the time. But by moving your motivation now to getting better about the process, shifting it to that energy of curiosity, trying to master it like a skill, you're basically on a journey that you just get better and better compared to that person that's just worrying about the scale and they're just so attached to that outcome, they can't even see what's going on with the process. And the interesting thing here is that you reach your goal as a compound effect of all the decisions you make day to day. And it's really all about the process once you have the direction. So what I recommend you do is upgrade your motivation, hook it up to things that are within your control, enjoy the journey, and you will get in the absolute best shape of your life. I promise you, you will be unstoppable. You will master the most important skill of them all, which is consistency. And what's going to help with that is making sure you hit that subscribe button below, enable notifications by hitting the bell icon. Details for coaching are in the description below. Check those out as well. I'm going to leave a very important video here at the end for you. Check out that video, and I'm going to see you right there.